Station, this is Houston. Are you ready for the event?
Houston Station, we are ready for the event.
European Space Agency, this is Mission Control Houston. Please call station for a voice check.
Rémi Canton nous dit qu'il part avec Houston. En tout cas, dans ce laboratoire Columbus, il y a plusieurs laboratoires scientifiques dans l'ISS. C'est là où l'essentiel des expériences scientifiques sont menées. On en parlera pendant ce téléphone sonne. La mission Alpha, ce sont 12 expériences françaises, mais Thomas Pesquet participe évidemment aux expériences européennes et de temps en temps aux expériences américaines. Voilà, l'ISS, c'est un laboratoire de sciences.
Je vais tout vous dire, on attend d'avoir du son. Pour l'instant, il n'y en a pas, mais ça ne saurait tarder. Pendant que Thomas Pesquet, du coup, lui, joue avec un petit globe en plastique. Moi, j'aimerais bien avoir aussi un petit globe en plastique.
Je vous entends très bien, Fabien. Je ne sais pas si vous m'entendez.
I hear you very well, Fabien. I don't know whether you're hearing me.
Il y a des velcro sur le pantalon de Thomas Pesquet.
Absolument.
En fait, il y a énormément de choses qui sont accrochées avec un velcro, puisque
I'm looking the flag, and I am seeing everything that is floating. I don't know. He's putting it with the battery. I don't know. He just put up his globe. Ordinarily, there is not only for communication like that. Everyone takes place in its own compartment.
Les Américains dans le laboratoire de sciences
The Americans in the lab science.
Oui, là on voit le drapeau français.
And also the Russian in the compartment. You can see the French flag.
Mathias Maurer
qui va aussi Monsieur Pesquet, voilà le drapeau. So he arranged the flag. So he's very relaxed, and he's very relaxed. Well. Oh, are you? Do you hear me, Thomas? So do you hear me? Yes.
Moi, je vous entends très bien.
Yes, I understand you. I hear you very well.
C'est quand même terrible. Moi, je vous entends
pas. I cannot hear you.
Parce que moi, je peux le faire.
Well, could you do the monkey while you're there? Because I'm able to do it.
Station, this is Houston ACR. Please stand by. Our client is having some technical difficulties.
Et là, il parle à Houston, Thomas, probablement, en disant il y a quelqu'un qui est en train de se
He's talking to Houston and trying to find out. Perhaps he doesn't hear everything. So we are talking with sign language or something like that.
Je vais refaire un essai. Je ne sais pas si vous m'entendez, Fabien.
I want to do a trial. I don't know whether you hear me quite well or not. You did a space mission with the Mir station. One was very short, another one very long, about 6 months. The same one Thomas Pesquet is doing. And are you, however, communicate with the Earth?
Station, this is Houston ACR. Would you please repeat your 10 count for Radio France?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Salut Thomas.
Hi Thomas, we are very happy to see you. We are in Paris. Can you hear me, Thomas?
Moi, je vous entends très bien.
I hear you very well. Jean-Pierre as well.
Vous m'entendez?
Can you hear me?
Je crois que je m'entends en écho, donc c'est plutôt.
I think you hear kind of an echo. We are hearing you very well, and thank you that you've been trying for the last 3 minutes. It's been very difficult. We are really happy to be with you with France Inter. There are a lot of questions that we are going straight to the question because we have a very short time, and we're going to start with a question. Where are you, quite simply, where are you right now? Where are you over which land?
Alors, figurez-vous que j'étais préparé à cette question.
So I was ready to this question. So I was not ready because we are looking outside. I had my software showing to me, and we are more or less over Brazil. We are just Bahia, around the coastline of the Atlantic in a few minutes. So your multiple experience is something that immediately surprised you. You were wondered immediately. So anything that surprised me immediately. So it was like cold flames, because it's always these flames. They are like red. It's very special, and in the mirror was very classic one. We realized those are very cold temperature. It's 800 degrees, but it's something that we were not expecting. The conditions and the chemical engines, something that was surprising, very visually enticing. So you are the spokesperson for many of your comrades to tell you that they had a blog comparing the experiences that Thomas Pesquet is doing in space. What you write on this blog? Have you given a name to that blog? No, there is a name, but what's funny is in my generation, and in the 90s and the 80s, it's true that the blog is something very special that is gaining popularity in the space station. So something that happened in a bad movie, but for the safety reason, contamination, we couldn't go out, so we only could be able to see it through a camera. So we saw the evolution, the adaptation to the environment of the no gravity environment. So we have to adapt to, and we haven't given a name, and this is something that you cannot do in one single piece. My name is Dilem. I'm 6 years old. How do you go about electricity with power? Okay. This is the space center that invented the solar panel. 120 kilowatt is the equivalent of 100 houses that you could light. Like a small village in France or Europe. And we are exposed to the sun rays directly, and this is our only source of energy, renewable energy, and that's how we have the energy to power ourselves in the station and the electricity. So, you've been able to go out of your station from our Earthlings perspective. Is it something that you get tired? Is something tiring? No, it's a little bit of, so when you get out of the station, so it takes a lot of physical effort, and it takes a lot of concentration. That what we do, Jean-Pierre as well with me, is you get tired because it takes many hours. It's like a marathon. It's not with the upper part of your body. You really don't use your legs, but with your arms you move a lot. It's kind of an experience that you're happy that at the very end you are very happy to go inside, because see your colleagues, and especially the safety you feel inside the space station. So we are happy to be back inside. So there's a young lady that you could see the damaging of the planet, of all these people that are watching. What is the air pollution and damage to the environment. So we've seen the difference. It's difficult to have a look, an objective look. There is a change. So we have to trust the measurements that all the satellites are making, and all the scientists that are doing measuring for the many years. The difference that I see with my own eyes, I cannot have a scientific conclusion, so that doesn't exist. But it's better if I see it myself. But so So what we are able to see is the increasing how often many storms form. And we made an experiment of a change of storms on the South Atlantic or along Mexico that before we didn't see that many storms. Mr. Pesquet, I know that in 40 days you're going to be back. It will take time to recover, and you adjust to being back home. It's a little bit like that. I will be happy to go back, but to see my family, my friends, and have a normal life. So that's why we have been actually grown for that. We are Earthlings and not to be in space. But it's true that you find some serenity just to be here, a peace that is difficult to find elsewhere. And when you wake up, you know why we are working all the time, and we are really at the top of the swords fighting. And perhaps I will miss that, but this is a very protected zone. I remember in my first mission that I was surrounded by people, the phone ringing over there, and questions about the station here and there. And while here, we have a little bit protected, like a parenthesis of the real world. And well, this is special. So, Gaetan has a question. It's a little bit a complex question. Do you think the space jobs for space will be available for explore the space or colonizing other planets? Or yes, it's a very fundamental question. Everything goes together. So we have difficulty imagining a different exploration in space. Is we cannot separate that from. And the same thing at the beginning of the century, 20th century, we said about development of aviation. So you have the pioneers, and finally the governments took over that, the military, and this is the development of aviation in general, all over the world. So I don't expect that the space research or exploration is going to be different, because there are a lot of people that work. I think it's important. Is the space exploration that is important. It's not like putting your flag on an asteroid or the moon. This is a lot of fundamental research that of these human look at what's going on. So those are still on the very fundamental things that we try to answer very large questions about life and what we do through satellites or sound exploration, and we try to get an answer to all of these questions. We see also the millionaires are also going to be in the space astronauts. So do you think that is something that they will find something? I understand that at the beginning it's a little bit, I think about those, a lot of people that have a lot of money, and it's a bit shocking, perhaps. We have to give a chance to this activity, which is like with aviation. At the beginning was an elite of people that were trained, like Jean-Pierre or my generation, the next generation. So now it's only very wealthy people that will be able to travel in space. But nowadays, everybody can jump in a plane and fly around. Also, we have to take account in our environment. So I expect that perhaps it will be the same thing. It goes step by step. There will be an activity, a luxury activity to create pleasure for the rich people, but perhaps there's some solidarity in the different space agencies. There is a place for the people who will go to the space, and we are on the first stage. Well, I agree, but we have to see what happens in the years coming. We are worried about you, and he's asking that the other day there was a fire alarm in the station. It was something. What do you think when you wake up and there was a smelling something burning? The first thing I thought was to not to be ready to get dressed, not to be on my underwears out of my sleeping bag. So we have the training of the pilot and the training of the astronaut. We repeat those actions hundreds of times, so we are prepared for that. We have to preserve first ourselves, then the vehicle, to preserve and protect the stations, or the crew, then the station, and then the navigation. And then we were a little bit disoriented because the station a little bit turned around, but we recovered. We have equipment there. We are there to react to this. It was complicated. If it was being easy, then there is no need to be trained for years for those actions. So we are like automatic set, and we disconnect our brain. We do what the task we have to do, and take the actions that have to take. 1 minute. Ferdinand asked that you have to do some sport in order to. It is like you are on a swimming pool under no gravity. So under no gravity, you don't feel your efforts. So there is nothing to do in effort. So with just one finger, I could push myself. I could be going all over the station. So it is not there to gain your muscles. We are not there to do exercise. But something is that we recover very, very quickly. So we are floating all the time. It's like you don't need to lay down or so. But next morning, you are brand new again. So you don't go into the machines to do exercise. So we have to disconnect. Thank you very much, and I wish you success in your mission. I have one small question, a small message from Leo. He's 5 years old. So on November 2nd is my birthday. I hope that you'll be back by then.
Et comme promis, direction l'espace à présent. Thomas Pesquet.
Good morning, Thomas Pesquet.
Bonjour.
Good morning. Thank you to be with you. It's now 5 years now. You've been now with the space station, and it's going to be in November. So you have you're missing the land, the Earth. You're missing the planet after all this time. Yes, a little bit. That I had the pleasure to see it from all above. I saw the pictures of my friends, the videos, and the sport to go to the mountains, or to go to the beach, or to see nature. I'm missing all of that. Yes. I have the image when you were with France Info, when you are talking about the planet Earth. You are playing with a small globe about the Earth that you're missing. So you are not by yourself. There are other astronauts of different countries. So are you able to take a blob, which is a stove, it's not like an animal, it's kind of a sponge. So for the scientist, how is your blog doing? Oh, he's doing fine. We just wake him up. It is a kind of an organism that hibernates. So we wake him up, and he went to eat somewhere. So, and then it developed the way it was foreseen. So we don't want to be all over inside the ISS, but we haven't given him a name. But so it is practically part of the crew, as a matter of fact. So the fact that it's in non-gravity for this organism, there are 4,000 schools that are doing this experience here down on Earth. They are synchronized with you. Could they be synchronized with you? Well, this is an educational experience. We try to use the ISS to include the young schools, the young children's school. So we try to find out and to show how the blob can adapt and then compare to see the results. We don't have yet the answers that we are looking for. That's why science is so beautiful. So inside this capsule, are you following the news? So opposite. So if you're like in a submarine, do you realize what I'm talking about? So I can tell you, I am totally disconnected about the news, but from time to time, the ESA, the European Space Station, informs of what's going on, so that I am able to speak with my friends. But I even talk to my American colleagues. So within the crew, everything is going fine, and we are. It's a good crime street. Is there any diplomatic fight between the Americans and the French? No, everything is fine. So we are a crew that is trained to work together as a team. So you've been several days with the ISS without gravity. There was a fire. So how you put that off, that fire? So we have a fire extinguisher. So we have three urgency cases. One is a fire, is very seldom, because we are always on the gravity. Everything is fireproof. We have also the smoke detector that are automatic, and there is a lot of procedures to find the source of that fire. So once you have the smoke inside the ISS, you have to be out for 6 months. We have to be very careful with that. So it was like in the middle of the night, everything was fine. Well, it does happen. We were ready to react, and we are trained, and the station let us know. So when you went out of space, were you afraid when you were outside space?
Station, this is Houston ACR. Thank you. That concludes our event.